In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your online store. Once you log into the admin panel for the first time, you'll be presented with the store setup wizard. So the store setup wizard allows you to quickly set up your store for the first time. So you can see that in this page, we have two options. The first one allows us to set up the store by ourselves. And then the second one gives you the option to contact the Invotide support team if you don't want to set up your store by yourself. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the store by yourself using this option. So the first thing we do is we go ahead and click on the Start Setup button here. So we'll be presented with the option if we want to set up a single seller store or a multi-seller store. So in this video, we are setting up the single seller store. So what we do next is we go ahead and click on the select button here. So here we will need to adjust the currencies that will be available that your customers can use to order your products. So for this example, we will go ahead and delete these currencies. So let's say we want to delete these currencies. So we can delete it and leave only these four. So once we tick this to delete these currencies, we go ahead and click on the delete button here. All right, so we've deleted the currencies. So note that in this section, we can also add new currencies by clicking on the add button here and then filling this form. So once we have set up the currencies, we go ahead and click on the next button here. All right. So this section allows us to set up the general settings for the store. So for this example, we are going to adjust the metadata. So we set the meta title, description, and keyword. So let's go ahead and do that. So for the meta title here, we can enter the store name here. So for this example, the store name is ABC Fashion. All right. So we leave the meta description here. Under the keyword section, we can list, for example, the items we sell. So we can say shoes, dresses, bags, hats. All right. So we can list the types of products we sell here. So once you have set up the metadata, so we go ahead and click on the continue button here. All right. So this next section allows us to fill in the store name, address, email, phone number. So anything we fill here will be visible in the storefront contact us page. So let's go ahead and fill it. For the store name, we say ABC Fashion. So we put the store owner's name, say test user. For the address, we leave it as test address. So this should be the actual address of your office. So for the email, say ABC at. All right. So for the phone number, we leave it. So we can just leave this section. We can add the logo here, but we won't do that. So we leave all this section and then we proceed. So here we can set the default country, state, currency. So once we make the adjustments, we proceed. Here we can add the logo, but we won't do that. Here we can set the WhatsApp number and set up the WhatsApp chat widget. So once we make all the changes here, we save. All right, so now that we've saved, we now click on this button to go to the next step. So remember, we can also navigate between the steps using this section here. So let's go to the next step. All right, so in this section, this is where we set up the products. So for this example, I'm going to set up 5 products. So for us to do that, we click on the add button here. So I've written down the products I want to set up. So I go ahead and open it. For the first product, we are setting up the black shoe product. So we copy this. Here we select the physical product type because I'm selling physical products. So we select this. We enter the product name as black shoe. Say this is a test physical product. For the meta tag title, we enter it as black shoe. So for the meta description, test physical product. All right, so we leave all these other options here. For the model number, we can say B1. For the price, let's put the price for the product as 20, so that's $20. We leave the quantity as 100. We leave the subtract stock. We leave the required shipping option. So all these other options, they are optional. So we leave this. If we want to set it up, we can set up the weights. So for this status, we leave it as enabled. Leave the sort order number as 1, then proceed. So here we are going to upload the image for the product. So we select this option here. All right, so here, once it loads, I'll select the product image. All right, so let's wait for the page to load. Okay, now it has loaded. So for the black shoe, this is it. All right, so you can see that the image has been added here. So the next thing we do after uploading the product image is we go ahead and assign the product to a category. So currently we've not created any category. So to create new category for the store, we go ahead and click on the manage categories here. So here you can see we don't have any existing categories. So what I'll do next, I'll open the file here. So I've written down about 5 categories I need to create. So for the first one, we create the shoes category. So we copy it and then we click on the add button here. So we enter the category name. For the description, so this is a test category. So this will actually be your own description for your category. So for the meta title, we put the name as shoes. So we leave the meta description and keyword as it is optional. So we proceed. So in the data section here, we can leave all these other options. So we set up the keyword as shoes. So for the category image, go ahead and so upload the image. So we select this as the image. All right, so once we add the image, you can see it here. So we select it. All right, so once we add the image, we can then proceed to tick this so that this category will show in the storefront header menu section. For the meta tag title, set it as 1. We enable the status and then save. All right, so you can see the category has been added. So the next thing we do is we close this and assign it to the product. All right. So for these other sections here, we are not going to adjust any of the settings for this section. So we leave these sections as they are optional. So we scroll up and save. All right, so we've added the first product. So the next thing I'll do, I'll proceed to add the remaining products. All right. All right, for the price, we set this as 40. So that's $40. We leave all these other options as they are. So I set the sort order number as 2. So here I upload the product image. All right. So here I'll now go ahead and create the category for this product. So we are creating the dresses category. All right. So for this section, we leave it as it is. So here we add the search engine optimization keyword, put it as dresses. Add the category image. So I upload the image. All right. So you can see the image here selected. So we go ahead and tick this, set the sort order number as 2, enable the status, and save. All right. So now that we've saved, we close this window here, and then assign the new category to the product. So we leave all these other optional sections again and save. All right, so create the third product. All right, so I'll pause the video and then complete the setup of the other products. All 4 of the products, so I'll now proceed to do the last product. So to add the last product, we go ahead and click on the add button. So the last product will be the black jeans. So we select the name here and then choose the physical product type. So here we enter the description and the product name. All right. So for the meta tag title, we put the product name, the meta tag description. All right. So we add the model number as B5. For the price, we set it as 25. All right. So we leave the quantity as it is. We leave all these other options. So here we make sure that the status is enabled. Set sort order number as 5. And then we proceed to the images section. So here we upload the product image. Select the black jeans option. So for the category, we are going to create a new category called jeans. So to do that, we click on the manage categories button here. So you can see all the categories we've created so far. So to add the new category, we click on the add button. So we call the category, call it jeans. All right. All right. So we add the meta tag title. We can leave this option. So in the data section here, we add we leave all these other options here and add the SEO keyword as jeans. So we upload the category image. All right. All right, so you see it here, select it. We tick this option so that it will show in the storefront header menu section. Set sub order number as 5. Enable the status and save. All right, so you can see it here. So we close this window and assign the new category to the product. So we leave all these options and save. All right, so now we have completed the setup of the store products, as you can see them here, and you can see the prices and the quantity. So if you want to make any adjustments to the products, go ahead and select the edit button here. So after we've set up the product, the next thing we do is we click on this button to proceed to the next step. We can also navigate between the steps using the menu section here. So let's proceed. We click on the button here. All right, so in this step, we are going to set up the store theme. So the storefront theme, we can select from any of these options here. So once, let's say we want to choose the streamline theme. So we select the streamline theme. So after selecting the theme, make sure that the status is enabled and then save. All right, so now that we've saved, we can preview this theme to see how it will look by clicking the preview button. All right, so this is our new theme. You can see this is what the customers will see when they access the store. So the theme looks okay. So we'll now proceed and close this. So after we have set this up, we can navigate to the next step by clicking this button or using this menu section. So let's proceed. So in this step, we are going to set up the payment method. For this example, I'm going to set up 2 payment methods. So the first one we'll set up is the bank transfer payment method. And then the second, we'll set up the Paystack payment method. So to do that, we go ahead and select the continent here. So I choose Africa. So for the first payment method, we are setting up the bank transfer payment method. So let's go ahead and edit it. So here is where we put the bank details. So make sure that you put the correct bank details because the customers will use the information you provide here to make bank transfer payments. So for this example, let's change the name as call it, say, John Doe, right? So for the bank account number, all right. So for the bank name, you can say all right. So once we have put in we can add additional bank accounts. So let's say we collect payments in different currencies. So we can say for dollar payments, use the bank details below. All right. So we can now put the second bank detail, say for pound payments, say UK, use the bank details below. So add the account name, say John Doe. Add the account number. All right. Add the bank name. Let's say Star Bank. All right. So once we put in the bank details here, we can adjust these other options here to make sure that the status is enabled. Set the sort order number as 1 and then save. All right, so we've set up the first payment method. So for the second payment method, we go ahead and select Africa again. So here we search for Paystack, so we can type it in here. All right, so we go ahead and click on the edit button. So in the settings page here, we need to provide the API keys. So this you can get from your Paystack merchant account. So once you have entered the correct keys here, so we can go ahead and adjust these other settings and then make sure that the status option here is enabled. We set the sort order number as 2, and then we can also adjust the payment status settings for this payment method, but we'll leave it as it is. So once we have done all the necessary adjustments here, the next thing we do is we go ahead and save. All right, so now we have set up the payment methods that customers can use to make payments when placing order in the store. So after setting up the payment method, the next thing we do is we go ahead and click on this button to proceed to the next step, or we can use the menu section here to navigate between the steps. So let's proceed. All right, so here in this section, we are setting up the shipping method. So this is an important section when setting up the store. So the first thing we do here is we make sure that the status here is enabled. So once we enable the status, we save. All right. So now that we've saved this, we can then proceed to add the shipping methods. So to add the shipping method, you click on this button here, and then we add the name. So for this example, we call this, let's say, location 1. So this should be the actual name of a city or country or a state. So once you put that, you can put the name here again. All right, so we leave all these options as they're optional. We make sure that this is enabled, and then we proceed to the next section here. So in the criteria section, we can limit the payment method to certain locations or customer group. So once we have done all the settings here, we proceed to the next step. So in this section, we can also set up category and product rules here. So, but for this example, we won't make any changes to it. For the price settings here, we will need to set up the shipping fee. So for this example, we are going to use the flat rate type. So we select it. We have the option to also use other rate types here. So, but for this example, we are using the flat rate type. So after selecting it, right, Now let's proceed to add the shipping fee. So for this example, we set the shipping fee as, let's set it as 10. So that means $10. We leave this option as it is. Let's leave it as subtotal. So we proceed to the next section. So here we can restrict this shipping fee method based on days of the week, but we will not make any restrictions here. So after setting up all these sections, the next thing we do is we go ahead and save. All right, so now we have saved. So we can create additional shipping methods by coming back here again and clicking on the add button, and then we proceed to set it up. So after setting up the shipping method, the next thing we do is we go ahead and click on this button to proceed to the next step, or we can use this menu section to navigate between steps. So, but let's go ahead and click on this button. So in the final step here, we have the option to set up the information pages. So we can add pages like terms of service here, privacy policy, about us. So any page we create here will be visible in the storefront end. So let's go ahead and open this. We can click on the edit button here. And then here we can proceed to add the page contents. So let's say we change this. Say this is a demo store, right? So we leave all these other options. We leave the meta tag details as it is. For the data section, we are not making any change here. Make sure that the status is enabled and then save. All right, so if you want to create a new page, you can come here and click on the add button here. And then this will allow you to create a new information page. Let's go back. So after setting up the information pages, the next thing we do is we can go ahead and complete the store setup process by clicking the activate button here. If we don't want to do this now, we can go back to the previous steps here and make additional changes. So if we are ready to complete the initial store setup process, we come here, we click on this button here. So here we have the option to view the storefronts, and we have the option to activate the admin panel. So let's say we are ready to complete the setup. The next thing we do here is we go ahead and select the yes option here to enable us to activate the store admin dashboard. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So now we have activated the admin panel. As you can see, the admin panel here. So once we activate the admin panel, we can continue the setup process for the store. So the next thing we do here is we can go ahead and further adjust the store theme, like changing the theme color and font. So if we want to make additional adjustments to the store theme, in the admin panel, we navigate to the store management section. We select settings. So here you can see that when we activated the admin panel, we now have additional setup options here and additional menu options. So let's say we want to set up the theme. We select settings again, and then we choose themes. So here we now go ahead and click on the edit button here. All right, so you can see that in the theme settings, we now have the option to customize the theme. So what we'll do next is we go ahead and click on this button here. All right, so you can see that this has opened the theme interactive edit page. So for us to, let's say we want to change the color of the background area here, we can do that using CSS, or we can do that using the theme settings, general settings module. So let's say we want to use CSS to do this. The next thing we do is we click on the menu section here and select CSS editor. So you can see the CSS editor section. So we can proceed to do this by, when we highlight any of the sections here, you see it shows us the CSS elements for this section. So let's go ahead and click on it. So clicking it will add the CSS code snippet to the editor section here. So for us to make a CSS adjustment, we can then proceed to set the custom background color. So we type background, and then let's say we make it green. All right, so you can see that the changes we made has been updated in the storefront theme. So let's say we want to change this banner. So we want to put another banner here. So to do that, we go ahead and select the menu option here and then choose theme settings. So note that we will need to select the default theme that was set for the store. So for this example, we had set the Streamline theme as the store default theme. So we go ahead and click here to open the settings. So you can see this is the settings for the Streamline theme. So what we need to do, since what we are trying to do is to change the banner here. So to do that, we select the layout designer option here. And then we wait for the page to load. So now that the page has loaded, we come here and select the home page layout. All right, so this is the home page layout. So here now we proceed to the banner option here. Since we want to make adjustment to the banner, we are not using this banner module, so we remove this. So we are going to set up the slideshow banner option. So we select it. All right, so what we do next is we enable the status here, and then here we upload the banner image. So we go ahead and upload the banner. All right, so we'll upload this as the banner. All right, so we select it. So we can make further adjustments by changing any of these settings, or we'll leave it as it is, and then we save. All right, so now that we've saved, we have to save the layout by clicking the save button here. All right, so we'll now proceed and close this. All right, so you can see that the new banner we added is now visible in the storefront theme. So this is an example on how you can adjust your theme using the theme settings section. So after making all the adjustments, we can proceed and close this by clicking the exit button here. So we can always come back to the admin panel to adjust the products if we want to make any further adjustments. So we go ahead and do that by navigating to the store management section. Select catalog. So here we select products. So this is the section where we can adjust the existing products or add new products using the add button here. So for the payment and shipping method, we can as well locate that by navigating to the store management section, select settings. So here for the payments, we select the payments menu here. So this will allow us to access and adjust the payment methods that customers can use in the store. So for the shipping method, we navigate to the store management section and select settings. So here we select shipping. So we can set up any of these existing shipping methods as well. So once you have adjusted all your settings, you can always come back to the admin panel to process customer orders and add additional products if you want to do so. So for customers orders, to access that, we navigate to the store management section, select sales. So here you can select orders. So here is where you see the orders that has been made by customers in the store. So you can come to this section and manage the orders by updating the order status. So if you have any question regarding the admin panel, you can always submit a support ticket. To do that, you navigate to the add-on services section here. And then here you select the support tickets option here. So this section will allow you to add your support ticket, and we will be able to assist you once you post the support tickets in this section. So in this video, I've shown you how to set up your online store and how to manage the various sections when setting up your online store, and also a quick review on how to use the store admin panel. Thank you for watching.